Tracy, a well-known millionaire, once said, "Every minute you spend in planning saves 10 minutes in execution." And now think about how much time you spend on planning. Probably not much, or you don't spend time on it at all. And now think about what was your first activity you have done after you woke up. Was it something unpleasant, or you just started using your phone? Obviously, if you have just turned off your alarm clock, fair enough, but it was something more than that, right? These are not the only problems that are making you procrastinate, but I'm sure these are one of the biggest. When you haven't planned your next day, you are not in control whether you do your tasks or not. You don't have everything you want to accomplish. And when you haven't started your day being disciplined, you won't have so much commitment to be disciplined to the end of it. These two habits are huge productivity boosters. But why they will boost it by 10.69? Well, they will 10x your productivity, and this 0.69 I just added to make title more clickable. Okay, let's start. Planning the next day. You already know that Brian Tracy, very successful entrepreneur and mentor, said that every minute of planning saves 10 minutes in execution. It means that every minute you spend on planning something will save you 10 minutes of doing this thing. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend first 4 sharpening the axe." Okay, but how to actually plan the next day? Planning the next day ideally should happen day before, but if you forgot, it's okay, you just have to do it right away after you wake up. On the list you should write all the important things for the next day and time when you will accomplish them next to them, like in the list. The whole list should be your perfect day that you're striving to achieve too, and that's why you shouldn't be discouraged when you accomplish it, because we're not perfect, right? When you will do all of your goals from the list without any problems, that means that your list is too easy and you have to add something to make it more challenging. And of course, by saying that we're not perfect, I don't mean that you don't have to strive to accomplish your whole list and that you should strive only to achieve 80% of it, because it is still possible to achieve 100% and you absolutely should strive to achieve it. Don't use it as an excuse to not accomplish whole list and we're not perfect. We're not perfect, I don't have to actually accomplish all of it. No, you have to accomplish all of it. But if you won't do it, it's okay, you have to just strive for it. There will be times when you will accomplish it and when you won't accomplish it. But you have to strive for all of your goals, and it has to be possible to achieve them. But also it has to be very challenging. Okay, but how to actually make a list? It's very simple. You take a sheet of paper. Wait, I have a sheet of paper. You have to write current date, so wait, something like this, but not excess, you have to write actual date. And you write all of your tasks that you're going to complete from the first one to the last one. And there are two ways to do it. You can write all of your important tasks in there and next to them the hour that you want to accomplish them, or you can plan every single task from the beginning to the end. Personally, I prefer the second way, and I prefer to autistically write all of my tasks from the day and next to them the hours, so it looks something like this. This is my list for today. I have written all of the tasks that I'm going to accomplish and tick box next to them and all of the hours when I'm going to accomplish them. So for example, the first task is morning sunlight, 7 a.m. The second task is deep work, 7 and 15 a.m. The next task is morning routine, 8 a.m. and the next task is deep work again, and etc. As for the rest of the things, you can put any other task that you want, or rather you must accomplish. But the first one always has to be the big one that is hard to accomplish. But why is that? Let's say you're in your grandma's house and she gave you a dinner. She gave you pork chop with tomatoes with delicious sauce, but she also prepared disgusting asparagus that you hate from the deepest part of your heart. If I ask you, what would you eat first? What will you answer? Maybe you will say that you will just eat the tasty part first and leave the asparagus, but you clearly forgot that you're in your grandma's house, and as we all know, when you're in your grandma's house, you have to eat the whole dinner, or else you're fucked. Okay, the correct answer is to eat asparagus first, because you lower your baseline of taste. And then when you will eat the correct part of it, it will taste even better. Because what would happen if you ate the delicious part first? You wouldn't enjoy it as much as when you will eat the asparagus first, because your baseline will be higher and you will be anxious all the time about the asparagus that is waiting for you, so you won't even enjoy the correct part because you are thinking about what's going to happen next. And this is actually called the Eat the Frog technique. Brian Tracy wrote the book Eat That Frog, and it just means that you have to accomplish the hardest task first, because then everything becomes easier. And the whole idea of this concept is that when you do the hardest thing first in the morning, then for the rest of your day nothing will be worse, so everything will be easier. And the same is with your tasks from your day. There are some you like more, there are some that you like less, and this is important, so pay attention. When you will do the least pleasurable task from your day, then the rest becomes easier. I repeat, when you will do the hardest task first, then the rest of your day becomes easier. Do you understand? Okay, let's say you understand. And the best part of it, that the first task that you will do will be the most productive one, because in the morning your brain is in the freshest and clearest state, so it will be easier for you to get into deep work mode or get into flow state. And very with plus important thing, breakfast is also counted as a task, and you cannot do it first or even at least for 2 hours after you wake up. But my stomach hurts so much and I'm so hungry. Shut your ugly ass up. You're not hungry, you're addicted. Eating breakfast, so basically what is breakfast? Breaking fast. You're breaking your fast when you're eating breakfast. So eating breakfast or breaking your fast in the morning is castrating yourself from the energy. Because when you are fasted, your mind is in the sharpest mode it can be. If you don't believe me, try at least once to not eat anything until 10 AM and do your Eat the Frog task whilst being fasted. That's the way you get work done. You have to be fasted whilst doing it. And there is some science behind it, that when you eat anything, your glucose spikes, and when your glucose spikes, then it stimulates your insulin and blah 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 blah. But I will explain it in a logical and simple way. Pro science, we can say. Right. When you are hungry, you need food. When you need food, you have to put effort. And to put effort that will have the highest probability to get food, you have to have sharp and clear mind that will think fast, so your body will optimize for it. It's just how it is. When you're hungry, you need to be smarter and you need to think faster. Simple as that. But when you're full, you don't need food and your body won't optimize for being productive, because there is no reason to. So fasting in the morning, also known as intermittent fasting, is very important thing, because you kind of trick your mind that you need food and it will just make you more productive. When you planned your day and suddenly something happened, for example, I don't know, your parents told that you're going for a one-day trip with them, just go with them. That's fine. Try to accomplish all tasks you can and go with them. You'll just have to take the L. But it is actually more productive to go with your parents for a trip in such a situation, because when you will argue with them that you don't want to go with them and you don't have time, you will just make your relationship with parents worse, and this is not good. And when you will go with them, you will make the relationship with your parents better and you will make them happier. So there are 2 or even 3 habits that will absolutely skyrocket your productivity. First is planning the next day, the day before. Second is doing the hardest thing in the morning as a first task, so eating the frog that I explained to you. And third one is intermittent fasting, so basically not eating in the morning. Okay, so start doing those habits, and to succeed in them, stay consistent. Hey, give me a kiss!